Congratulations, Major, on scoring your first Billboard #1 with I Prayed for You and holding it for 2 consecutive weeks. How did that feel when you first got the news?
Firstly, thank you for having me. Secondly, I am grateful. I have been at this thing for a very long time. Um, People call me an overnight success, but I'm like, well, that was a long night. um, to get this Billboard #1 for the first time ever in my career. Now, mind you, many may know me for a song about love called Why I Love You. And yes, that went platinum. And yes, it's my biggest to date selling song and impactful song. But to finally get a #1
Wow.
hits different because it's a song about prayer. It's a song about the one gift that God gives his creation to reach him, the creator. Every single moment of the day, we have access to him by way of prayer. And so for me to get that #1 in a genre that was my first genre of choice and ambition and pursuit,
Wow. Wow.
amazing.
Major, tell us, what do you think? What was it about I Pray for You that has resonated so strongly with listeners across both gospel and soul audiences?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you identified that that's what it has been. It has been beyond just gospel. It's been in the soul space, in the mainstream spaces, because at the end of the day, no one's going to turn down a prayer because we all need it. We all understand that prayers have gotten us through and gotten us to many spaces that only a conversation with God would be able to do. And so this particular song came at a time that really rocked the world because of everything that it's been going on, from the political unrest to civil unrest, from inflation to us just trying to figure it out. It's a lot. And while we often say, I'm going to pray for you, and that's just a prayer, I literally said, I prayed for you, meaning I did this thing already. I took the time and prayed for you. There's an old song that says, somebody prayed for me, had me on their mind, took the time to pray for me. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed. I'm so glad they prayed for me. And so then I say, I said a prayer for you. I said a prayer. So stop playing with them. The Hope Dealer, my mama's favorite Hope Dealer, prayed for you.
Wow. You're set to perform I Pray for You at the 40th Stellar Gospel Music Awards this Sunday on BET. What's going through your mind about that?
So full circle. I actually just got off the call with the show producer and director Michael Johnson, who I call him Uncle Mike. Um, it's full circle. Um, from it being gospel, the stage of gospel, whereas this was the first genre that I pursued, and unfortunately, during my initial pursuit of being embraced by this genre, it wasn't easy. The labels that I reached out to either said I was too polished or too big for gospel music, that they already have a gimmick, or we love it, we'll be in touch. And be in touch turned from next week to the next month to never. And so I found myself chasing the embrace of the uninterested. And I was like, no, I can't. I don't think this is where God wants to have me just stressed out about. And when mainstream opened its doors to me, I've made a promise that I'd take the crossover with me. And so I've been able to be quote unquote validated, if you will, or embraced on a main stage space, but it's always been God for me. So for the Stellars to make room for me to be on that stage, it was full circle, and it was affirming that let God unfold the answer to the promise, because it'll look different, but it will be an answer. nonetheless.
I have one last question for you, and I'm gonna let you go. Major, you mentioned the Hope Dealer. You recently
Yeah.
released a surprise motivational mixtape called the Hope Dealer Sessions, a blend
Yes.
of spoken word and music. What inspired this project?
Woo! The need for the right now times to open our eyes that there is still hope in the midst of all of it. Hope and healing, pain and purpose, trial and triumph, all of it. That's just what life is. And one thing life is going to do is life. And so I know that I've been gifted with language to speak to the heart of humanity about this thing called hope that is powerful and ain't ever canceled. Hope is not the denial of reality, it's the commitment to believe greater is on the other side of it. So we're not pretending that struggle and circumstance aren't real. We're just understanding that in the midst of all of this turbulence, there's an anchor that is given to us by way of our Maker that will assure us that victory will be our end result. It ain't over until it's good. And so the Hope Dealer Sessions is that mixtape set to motivate, to reset, to refuel you. And I promise you it's good, good. Spoken word and music from yours truly, my mama's favorite Hope Dealer, Major.
We're gonna leave it right there.